Hello there, punters. It's Wendell Sale here for pngbet.com. Well, I just can't believe the last couple of weeks. Queensland absolutely embarrassed up there in Townsville. 50-odd points. They did it easy too, New South Wales. Their strength was their outside five, but I also think their forward pack laid that foundation. We couldn't go with them, and that just gave us a big headache all round. Their young halves, taught us a bit of a lesson there. Luai backing up, just making it look easy on debut. And I think also him standing over Felice Kafusi, I think that dictated the match and where it was at. I look at our Queensland team. Sure, we've brought a few new players in. Francis Molo, Reece Walsh. I still think it's going to be a tough assignment. Even though it's at Suncorp Stadium, you've got to have confidence. It's hard to have confidence when whatever you did in the first match didn't work for you. Paul Green is certainly under pressure here to keep the series alive. The hard thing for me too is there's no Harry Grant. Harry Grant is probably close to one of our best players. We know he was underdone. Munster was underdone, but there's no excuses. If you throw in that Queensland jersey or New South Wales jersey, you've got to do the job. We didn't do the job. So I expect our forward pack to be pumped up here. Fafita goes back to the bench to give it a little bit of impact. And we got guys like Papali'i back. So Papali'i's got to lay that foundation at the start. He's got to be the enforcer. We know he can run. We know he can hit. But he's going to have to endure the New South Wales forward pack at the moment because they're all very confident. What Tariq Sims did to us in the first game too, he was probably in the top three players on the field. He's playing his best football at the moment. I look where we can beat New South Wales. You've got to beat them through the middle. There's no going around them. You look at the speed at the back. You got Josh Adokar, you got To'o, you got Turbo, and you got that man, Latrell Mitchell. They're such a strong outside five, and I look at their forward pack and their rotation there. It gets stronger too. You bring in Angus Crichton, who's a very good player. So, Queensland, we're up against it here. I think this is a big ask for a young kid named Reece Walsh. I know he's a good player. He's only played a handful of first-grade games. This is like no other. You can't stuff around in State of Origin. You can't stuff around because this is a different beast. I'm not saying the kid ain't got it, but the kid is going to be under some pressure. You don't know if you're an Origin player until you get out there, till you feel the atmosphere, till you feel the hits, and you take the runs. Our centres are going to be better, as simple as that. They both got outplayed. Our whole forward pack got outplayed. But also, my main man for Queensland, if Queensland are to win this, Cameron Munster's going to have to be the man. And in the forward pack, Papali'i and that man there, Tino, they're going to have to get us through the middle. You've got to go through the middle before you go out wide. We've got some strike power out wide. Holmes will do a good job for us out wide, but you've got to have the field position, you've got to have the ball. So where I'm looking here, if you're a smart punter, you could probably go New South Wales here 1-12. I don't know if I can do that. I'm going to take Queensland to win, only because I want the series to be alive, only because I also don't want to tip against Queensland. But geez, we're going to find it tough. The mental toughness to come back from a 50-point flogging is hard. I played in the 2000 series, and New South Wales absolutely flogged us through that series. And I played in that game where they beat us 56-16. They just took our souls. And at the moment, Queensland won't forget what they did to us in game one. So for the Queensland boys, this is a tough assignment. If Queensland are to win this game, this will be the greatest win, I reckon, in Queensland's history. Because look at the players they're bringing in. There's not a lot of big names in that Queensland team, and I just think this New South Wales team is so well balanced that we're going to find it hard to handle them. Anyway, the Suncorp Stadium crowd, I reckon it's worth about 10 or 12 points. I'm not sure about that, but all I know is if we're going to win, we're going to have to find something deep. They talk about the Queensland spirit. They talk about Artie Beetson. They talk about guys who have gone into the deep end to win these games. I'm going to tell you now, for Queensland to win this game, they're going to have to dig very, very deep because this New South Wales team, this was like one of the best sides I've seen since the 96 side. And that side had Eddinghausen, it had Lazarus, it had Ricky Stewart, Laurie Daly, Tim Brasher, Paul Sirenen, had some of the greats of the game. So we're going to do it tough, Queensland. But as they say, you never knock a Queenslander, and when you're down, you're not out. So good luck, Queensland. Good luck, punters. Origin football's a different beast. Game 2 is just around the corner. So tune in and make sure you bet. PNG Bet, thank you. I'm out.